Howdy folks, I'm Gary McManus and this is your Mesonet Weather Report. Well, the big story across the country continues to be that disastrous drought that covers pretty much the entirety of the United States. In fact, this is being called one of the largest droughts that we've had in the United States since the 1950s and maybe even the 1930s when we had the Dust Bowl drought. So let's start with a look at the latest U.S. Drought Monitor report for the entire United States. As you can see from this National Drought Monitor map, there's just a big, large area of drought smack dab in the middle of the country, spreading out in all directions. And those folks that aren't in drought yet, they're well on their way. Now, the worst of that drought area, the extreme and exceptional droughts, are really centered in Kansas, Colorado, Arkansas, and over into the southeast. But that area in Arkansas is starting to creep towards eastern Oklahoma, so that's something we're really going to have to look at. And also, we have extreme heat going on during this entire summer with this drought. Not only in Oklahoma, but also across much of the Midwest, where record highs are being set. Since it seems like all we talk about over the last couple of years is drought, I thought it'd be interesting to go back and take a look and see how that drought has progressed over that time period until where we are now. We can trace this drought's origins back to the fall of 2010, with just a bit of dryness left over from the flash drought in the summer of 2010. Here you can see the drought map from early October 2010, just a little bit of dryness. And then that dry winter allowed the drought to progress right through to spring. This is where we saw the drought in early March at the beginning of spring, with that drought really starting to go strong in southwestern through central Oklahoma and into the southeast a little bit. But you can see the entire state was really on its way to drought. By this time last year, drought was in full flourish, intensifying from west to east, where the eastern third of the state had actually come out of drought last spring. And then of course, the drought was at its peak at the end of September last year, with 70% of the state covered in that D4 or exceptional drought. After all those great rains during the winter and into the early spring, we almost had drought eradicated in the state. So by mid-May, we had 77% of the state actually free of drought. Unfortunately, Mother Nature stopped cooperating once again, and the extreme heat and lack of rainfall has allowed that drought to flourish. We see that extreme to exceptional drought creeping westward from Arkansas towards eastern Oklahoma, and we also have that extreme drought increasing in northwestern Oklahoma. And much of the state is now covered in at least D2 severe drought, a dramatic increase in just a few weeks. Now, I wish I had better news for the future, but as you can see from this latest U.S. seasonal drought outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, it does appear we'll see drought intensification for at least the next couple of weeks. Now, this map goes out all the way to October 31st. I think that's being extremely ambitious for this map, so let's just worry about the first 2 weeks in this period, and then we'll go from there. Now, as that extreme heat kicks up again and we see the lack of rainfall continue, it's important to remember that for the western third of the state, some of those folks have seen continuous drought for the past 20 months. So it's been significant for those folks this whole time period. About all we can do now is pray for rain. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.